I can only talk to a certain level because my daughter's sleeping in the other room. How does one overcome the hesitation to voice out the feeling? How does one overcome the hesitation to voice out a feeling? Is that what you're saying? What I would say is, so basically you're afraid of something. You're afraid to say something. Hello. Multipoo taller. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Thanks for being here. Where are you guys from? Sacramento, nice. Fort Worth, dope. Do you guys like it out there? Just about to board a plane. Where are you going? Florida. What part of Florida? Not fear, but maybe afraid of their opinions or answers. So it is fear. If you're afraid of something, that's fear. Yeah, it's because, all right, I'm going to give you the very short answer and like straight to the point. If you're afraid to say something or voice your opinion to somebody, it's because it stems from a deep-seated root of I'm not enough. My needs are not enough. My opinion isn't enough. I have no value in this. Like, I can't say this because what they think is more important than what I feel. And so, at the end of the day, it's like, you are afraid because you don't fully know yourself. And it's that fear of rejection. It's like, the thing with myself is like, I'll make decisions and how another person feels about it is secondary. How I feel about it and what's true about the decision that I'm making. For instance, like, I'm doing this because from the goodness of my heart, because this is what I believe to be right, and I'm trusting myself. Now, if another person wants to interpret that however they want, that's on them. It's up to you to honor yourself and speak what it is that you feel needs to be spoken, and be open to that feedback, but not open to verbal or emotional abuse or anything like that. But you can say something like, here's my opinion. I'm a little hesitant to say this because X, Y, and Z. I'm afraid it might come off wrong, but here's my opinion. Or, here's my fucking opinion. And tell me why I'm wrong. Boom, this is why you're wrong. Fuck, okay. True. Or, no, not true. Why do others like and get good feelings from others by causing them pain? I think you call that like a masochist, something like that. should you be intentional with maintaining friendships, or should it just come naturally, or a mix of both? I think a mix of both, you know? And that's something that, honestly, I grieve every day still. I still have a bit of grieving happening from friendships that we were super duper close, and now it's like we don't talk. And like big things have happened in my life. Like I just had a baby. She's 6 months old. And like some of these people who are like super close friends, haven't met her, haven't even asked about her, you know? And so it's just like, there is a level of reciprocity in friendships. There needs to be a level of reciprocity. And then there's those people that you just fucking vibe with, dude. Like it's just you just get it, and like it's natural, and you don't feel obligated to, oh, I need to invite this person, or I need to touch base with this person. It is. What do others like and get? Why do others like and get good feelings by causing? Yeah. I mean the I don't know, people who get pleasure by causing pain from other people. It's like it's all stemming from this deep rooted sense of loss of identity. They don't know who they are, and they're identifying with a lie. And that lie is something destructive. You okay? Is it working? That's decent. Hello, Freeman. Hello, K-Mac. They can't own up and say they don't want the family life. I gotta do it for them. I'm not sure what you mean. Serbia, nice. I'm sure it more to the story why they haven't met your daughter. I found that friends that had kids, it's hard to just meet up with them, so I don't ask unless they ask me. Yeah, you know, I was just telling my girl that too. I was like, I'm guilty of that as well. And so like I have grace on that and that understanding. Yeah. Like I get it. There's always more to the story. How to stop watching porn while staying alone. That shit is addictive. And you must identify it as an addiction first. And otherwise you're just going to be like, something's wrong with me. It's a coping mechanism. Yeah, my dad. I'm not sure if I can say like, oh, they care, because let's be like, to what degree, I guess. But like, I have a couple friends that are super intentional about our relationship. And like, yeah, these are dudes that I can call any time of day and be like, I need this. And there's not even a question. There's no like tally. There's no, and vice versa. But then there's people that, I don't know, it's more transactional, and like you come to learn that later on after being friends with them or whatever. Yeah, human relationships are fucking intricate, dude. So lately this thing happened. A guy who behaved normally to me like everyone else, but now that he broke up with his girlfriend, he is showering me with attention all of a sudden. What is going on in his mind? Holy shit. Where do I even fucking start? What's going on in his mind is he doesn't love himself. So he needs that attention and validation from another individual, girl. And for whatever reason they broke up, that's a whole nother story. But at the end of the day, if he's just jumping to another girl, he's infectious. Like his emotional toxicity is infectious. And if you give him your attention, he will infect you with emotional STDs, if you will. Mental STDs. And people like that will psychologically fuck you. And not in a good way. And so at the end of the day, you need to be mindful of men who are just like all about you, all over you, showering you with all this attention when you know they're just out of a relationship. And women too. Fucking women do the same fucking shit. Men and women, we're humans. We all do stupid shit. And so that's what it is. That's what's going on in his head is a deep rooted fear of loving himself because he doesn't believe he deserves it. So he uses other people to fill his emotional void. And he's this perpetual cycle of toxicity that fucking sucks. Now, like, if you want me to give you a dialogue that's going on in his head, I have no idea. But when I was like that, it was, I'm not even going to have a dialogue about what I'm doing in my behavior. I'm just going to do it. And that gut feeling that I know is wrong, that I know it's telling me that this is wrong, that's letting me know this is wrong, I'm not going to listen to that. And I'm going to use this person to fill my void, but I'm not using them. I'm just seeing how they're doing. I'm just letting them know what I think finally, now that I'm not in a relationship. I'm just going to blah, 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 fucking emotionally vomit. I'm a fucking loose cannon. And so, yeah, you should block them. And you should avoid them at all costs. And they're going to be like, yo, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. I had people do it to me when I used to behave that way. And I would be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I didn't do nothing. But deep down inside, I knew I was being a fucking piece of shit. And so, it made me examine myself. But the more I got away with that stupid, idiotic, manipulative, not manipulative, but just gross behavior, like unconscious, destructive behavior, you think it's okay. You think you can continue to do that. So somebody needs to be like, peace, dog. You know? You're welcome. I have a question. How do you deal with being impatient? Impatient? Is that what you're asking? You have a music? I'm not sure what you mean. Music's not necessarily like singular. You mean like a song? Impatient. How do you deal with being impatient? You fucking scream. Like, hurry the fuck up. Just kidding. I can be very impatient sometimes. But I'm a pretty fucking patient person. And I'm a pretty understanding person. So it takes a lot to really like push my patience. But there are times that I'm like, oh my God, this line is way too fucking long. Like, what the hell is going on? Kind of thing. In those scenarios, I acknowledge the way that I'm feeling, and then I make a choice. I could feel like this. I have every fucking right in the book to feel impatient and to get impatient right now. Or maybe I can just enjoy right now. Find something that I can enjoy about this right now. I'm alive, and I'm standing in line with other human beings who are alive, who have incredible stories that I will probably never hear. Isn't this amazing? It's like, dude, everything negative in your mind can be reframed. It can be reframed. And so whatever it is, like, if you're trying to be patient with someone's attitude, you know, like, sometimes viewing them, like if they're acting childish, viewing them as a child, reframing your perspective, right? Stuff like that. I don't know if that answered your question, but from South Africa. Heck yeah. Happy Friday. Holy moly, it's still Thursday right now, but it's 11 p.m. Why do guys lie about not having a girlfriend? Why do some guys lie about not having a girlfriend? Because they're emotionally immature. And probably deeply insecure. Why do I find toxic people interesting? Because they are interesting. Because they teach us things about ourselves. We all have some kind of toxicity that we are just not aware of. And it's only through other human relationships that these things can be revealed to us if we choose to pay attention to them and be mindful of them. And they're not always easy to admit and easy to change. And I think humans are genuinely interested in things that resemble themselves. That's why reflections are so interesting for us, and we're so drawn to our reflection typically because it's just in our nature. Right? Now here's the thing. A lot of humans are resonating with other humans on something that isn't based in love. It's based in fear and all kinds of shit. So it's like there's these connections, but they're toxic connections. They're corrosive connections. But when human beings can resonate on a deeper level of understanding that's based in love, and you connect with another human being who resonates frequently in the frequency of love, then those connections are, I lost my train of thought, but those connections are powerful. Those connections are the connections that we should be having. Darren, I have a question. Would you explain narcissistic abuse by proxy, and why would people do it? It's not organic. Yeah. How about toxic relationships? What about them? How to deal with narcissists when you are an empath. Here's the thing. Some people aren't fucking narcissists that look and sound like one. And also, everybody is a narcissist to some degree. It's whether those behaviors are imbalanced or balanced. It's just like anything in the fucking world. It's like you're a regular human being if you eat a balanced diet. You're a glutton if you overdo that balance, right? Now, what causes people to overdo or that whatever that balance is? All kinds of things. But most people are just so bent in a narcissistic way and bent towards their narcissistic tendencies to the point sometimes where it's like it will have to take an actual mental break for that person to wake up from that, if they even do from that mental break. Because if they're so bent in the narcissistic direction, then they have narcissistic personality disorder, and it becomes a whole disorder and dis-ease. And in order for that to change, there needs to be, or managed, I'm not sure if it can be like fully changed, but like managed is if they become aware of this, right? And so in order for them to become aware, their whole belief, their whole identity is wrapped up in this and how they are. So if that changes, it's like it's ripping their identity from them. And when you try to do that, it some people call it ego death or whatever, but it's virtually impossible. Like they would rather die than admit that they're wrong. And so that's when it becomes a disease and disorder. But most of the population aren't like that. So what you're dealing with is just a normal human being who probably has narcissistic tendencies, leans more towards the narcissistic tendency side. Or wait, that's not how I wanted to say that. They just have a little more narcissistic attributes than the average person that they act on. And so let me just say that long ass fucking winded thing. Thank you, Dream. I appreciate that. Let me get back to this question. How to deal with narcissists when you're an empath. And so understanding first and foremost where those type of people come from, whether they are full-fledged NPD or just a person who's just unaware of their behavior. Doesn't matter. The choice is yours. Do I want to put the energy required to maintain this relationship? No, I don't. Is it worth being patient and loving this person? And are they showing signs of wanting to be better? Yes. Like, then yeah, I'm gonna stay. Right? Yeah, it's worth it. Whatever. And so at the end of the day, someone who has strong narcissistic tendencies it's subconscious. They will look for empathic people who lack self-awareness. and who lack um yeah, self-respect at the end of the day, because most empaths have no self-respect, very little self-respect. In like, and trust me, I'm a pretty empathic person. This has taken me many years, and still I struggle with this at times, where it's like, as much as I want to feel for your situation, and I do, no. And so I have to set boundaries, and that is, it's difficult for people who know how to empathize with the other side. And so I was very vulnerable to narcissistic behavior and abuse because I was just like gung-ho, super loyal, I'll do anything for my homies type shit. To the point where it was like, as my identity is found in being your fucking stepping stool and your placemat and your whatever the fuck, because I understand you and I want you to know that I do, and I want you to feel seen, heard, and validated, even if it cost me my own fucking sanity. That was me. And then I go insane and I fucking lose my mind and realize, what the fuck? And then I go through the bitter stage of like, fuck everybody. And then I get to the truth, which is, I forgot to love myself this whole fucking time. That's been the problem. I didn't know how to love myself. I thought loving myself was sacrificing myself for other people. No, that, my friends, is called codependency. And so an empath without self-awareness is a doormat at the end of the day. And it fucking sucks, because it's really important for an empath to walk in power, because the gift of deep empathy is divine. It's supernatural. And it's like these humans walking around with this really powerful, God-given divine gift, and they just walk around like a fucking doormat. And instead of making true change, they just become punching bags. And they get snuffed out. And in my opinion, and from studies that I've researched, most people who struggle with chronic depression are highly empathic people. And in my opinion, it's because that empathy, that God-given gift, was never learned. They never learned how to wield that sword. And so they end up fucking slaying themselves with it, thinking they're doing somebody a favor, and they're not. They're just making themselves prey for the vultures. So I think an individual who is highly empathic needs to understand that their empathy must be protected. And their empathy must be used properly. It's a gift. It's a gift for the bearer, and it's a gift for the receiver. But too many empathic people lack boundaries and self-awareness, and so they lend themselves to a life of victimization and abuse. And it really sucks. And here's the thing too, is that when they become abused, they start to behave like the abuser. And then it creates massive cognitive dissonance within their nervous system. Not only are they being abused, but now their identity is being convoluted, because they start behaving that way because it's like a defense mechanism, right? If there's if you're just a fucking dead carcass, or if this is a horrible example, but like, let's talk about a piece of clay. If you're just a blank piece of clay, and you're supposed to be this, used to be built in this beautiful way, to be utilized to do constructive things, a pot, a cup, whatever. But you don't. You just sit there as a lump of clay with full potential, and then somebody comes and just starts pounding on you, stomping on you. Well, what's that clay going to begin to look like? If it's a fist, it's going to begin looking like the fist that's hitting it. You're going to see the imprint. If it's a foot, it's going to start looking like the foot. And yeah, it's still clay, but its potential is wasted, and it's now taking on the form of its abuser. You guys with me here? And so it's imperative to understand that empathy is a gift, and it's a sword. It is a mighty sword to be wielded with wisdom. But people are like, oh, I'm so empathic. It's like, yeah, okay. Like this whole submarine shit, I'm like, I can't watch these fucking videos. I don't care anymore what happens. And if you guys have been watching that, please don't start talking about it. I'll mute you. I'll kick you out of my life. Because here's the thing. I can go there. I can really go there emotionally. That's why I have to be super careful about movies I watch, TV shows I watch, music I listen to, the way that something is affecting me emotionally. I have to be very careful and very mindful, Because the way that I like to enjoy things is with depth. So when I watch a movie, I really like to pull a message from whatever I'm watching. I really like to go there and be a part of the movie that I'm watching. Otherwise, I'm just like, what am I doing here? I'm a feeler, dude. And so, yeah. Now, if I'm, for instance, The Weeknd came out with a new show, which seems to be pretty good. But at the end of the day, I watched one episode. I won't watch anymore because I don't really care. Unless, maybe somebody's like, you should watch this because it has some sort of benefit for you. But But cinematically, fucking incredible. Like the script is incredible, the writing is incredible, the acting is incredible, the cinematography, the directing, really, really well done. And I can appreciate that. But it's not enough for me to continue watching. Otherwise, if it was, like, I just put it on mute, right? So, yeah, I mean, again, a lot of people view their empathy as a weakness. It's not a weakness. God damn it, Josh. I've never heard that one. Fucking laughing to yourself. Kramer. Send. Or you're probably on the toilet, huh? Dude, when I first started going live on TikTok, oh my God. People would come in like, Kramer, you look like Cosmo Kramer. You look like Kramer. Sometimes people are like, you look like so-and-so, and they're pretty spot on. I have had terrible experiences with men in general. I find it hard to trust anyone anymore. I feel like everyone only lies and acts and pretends. Well, it sounds like you have a lesson to learn, man. What are you doing? What are you doing to attract this? What about you is allowing this behavior in your life? Now, that's not to say there's a lot of people out there that, and you can't really generalize it because you don't know every man in the world. But yeah, some men, and I know women like this too. But like, yeah, there's a good fucking number of people who are not trustworthy. But when you are a person that trusts yourself, that loves yourself, that knows how to respect yourself, that knows how to love yourself in the way that you deserve to be loved, the fucking moment you don't get that, you're going to know. And you're not going to waste your fucking time with people who are going to treat you less than you treat yourself. So the only reason you will waste your time in those moments is when you're receiving the level of love in which you give you. Hold on. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you in advance. I used a clip of yours and gave you credit in the description. Awesome. Yeah, man. So it's like at some point you have to think, why does my stomach keep getting upset? And here's what fucking most people do. They eat a particular diet, they get sick because of that particular diet, and instead of saying, oh, it's what I'm doing, it's what I'm consuming. They say, doctor, can you give me something to deal with this problem? And then they continue doing that fucking thing that's causing the problem, going to the doctor, trying to fix it, not taking any goddamn responsibility for their fucking life and the decisions that they're making. We do this in relationships. Like, why do I keep getting this type of person? It's like, why do you keep accepting that? Why? What is it that you're believing about yourself that is drawing this in? And dude, I'm telling you, it always boils down to, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. That's the root of it all. 9 times out of 10. If men who are in relationships are texting you, why do they have your phone number? Is it people that you just knew in the past or something, or whatever that is? Yeah, it's always, what message, what signal are you sending out? What signal is that? But then again, maybe you're not sending a signal. I don't know. Maybe in your general circle of influence, they don't have my number, they have my social media. Oh, I thought you said texting me. Texting me or wanting a thing. Oh, so I'm assuming DMing you. Just block them and move on. Yeah. 1 second, I'll be right back. True. So what else is going on? What other questions do you guys have? What is this? Ooh, filters. Book suggestions. Psycho-Cybernetics and the Four Agreements. All right, guys, I'm only going to be on here for a few more minutes, so if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. And I'll do my best to answer them. Mystery Girl, I have a question. Where did you get all this wisdom from? I got the wisdom I have from life experiences, in prayer, to be honest. Like, I don't know how else to fucking put it. I specifically asked God for wisdom when I was 17 years old. And I prayed for wisdom for many years. And it wasn't easy. But yeah. Just a lot of experiences. And a lot of pain. I think deep pain from a very early age. I'll be right back. I'm going to check on my daughter real fast. My girl, I think she's trying to put her to sleep. Be right back. All right. Why do men try to keep you around who obviously have a girlfriend but want a minute? Somebody asked this question earlier because they're fucking stupid. That's why. And you should avoid them at all costs. Yeah, man. Yeah, if you guys want to know more information about me, you can hit the link in my bio. And I have an application process. Like, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I only take a handful of clients every year. And then if you want to check out my ebook or whatever, I have some free shit on there. And then I also have, if you don't want to work with me one-on-one, I have a course. And you get it in the in your email. It's an email course, 6 weeks, all about shifting your mindset, understanding your beliefs, and why you might feel stuck or what might be holding you back and how to change that. So feel free to check that shit out. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my Instagram, it is complete access to me via text, basically. So You'll be added to a group chat. If you have questions, you need coaching, whatever, I'm there. And so don't forget to do that. If that's something that you're interested in, you want support, you can do it for a month, or you can do it continuously. All right, guys, I appreciate you, but that's it. This is it for the live session. Thank you for your questions, and I'll see you Monday. If not tomorrow, probably not tomorrow, Monday. Take care of yourself, take care of your minds, and talk to you guys soon.